Well, hello. A little bit weird there, sorry. I am doing another new video on the F4u Corsair. It's an F4u F4, I believe. Let me get the box because I have the box handy. Ooh, that's kind of weird. Okay. It is F4u for Corsair. It'd be a dash 4, so it's called. Here's the box. There we can see. Here's my beautiful face, which you don't want to see. No, I'm just kidding. And bear with me for a minute. The actual book. Now I'm going to do some deviations on this model. If you go look at it in the store, and I paid $60 or $59.99 from Brickmania. So I was able to buy it from a store and not order it online. It's a big plane. It's a lot bigger than the other one that they had in 135 scale. This is 132nd scale, and it truly is because I have one of those 20th century toys, military World War II, in 132nd scale. They're identical almost in size. Put them next to each other. In fact, this one's more durable. That one, parts fall off and you go and play with it. The parts that are the most rickety on this are like the other one, the landing gear. When you retract and extend the landing gear, you pull it up. Always put your finger there, pull it up, give it a little push so it stays in place. The wings fold, which I'm not going to do right now because I don't want any disastrous stuff happening with it. It's a beautiful plane. Absolutely gorgeous plane. And it's that plane that was from that movie. What was that movie? Dedication, I believe, the Korean War movie. It was the fighter plane of Jesse Leroy Brown, the first black U.S. naval aviator. Historic kind of a plane and stuff, and kind of a cool thing because he was kind of an interesting individual. Watch the movie, you'll see what I mean, and a very good pilot. I was really enjoyed that movie because there's not enough stuff said about the Korean War, not enough movies and pictures and stuff. And actually, the Korean War was the first war where our forces were integrated. There was no more separate black and white units like in World War II. Everybody served together, and which is a good thing because the people that would wind up serving were the cream of the crop. You had the best pilots, regardless of skin color, but based upon skill. And Jesse was a great pilot. But this is mainly about the plane. So I just want to give a little sidebar and watch the movie. The movie is very good. You will enjoy it, especially the battle scenes. This is an improved version of the Corsair from the earliers. It has a four-bladed propeller on it. It has, I'm looking at my notes, I'm sorry. It is a, it's a 2,000 horsepower engine. And, excuse me for a second, I hate this. There we go. And it was kind of difficult to land on carriers initially because of the long nose. The long nose made vision hard to see, so if you were going to land, it would be kind of a difficult proposition. This one, the nose kind of slants down, giving the pilot a little better view of when he's landing. You can see better this way. And this plane also, from what I remembered, yes, it is a Pratt & Whitney R2800 double wasp. 1,566 horsepower. They had water menthol injection. They could get this thing up over 2,000 horsepower. The Dash 5 version actually could. The top speed on this plane was 454 miles an hour, which is extremely fast. This plane and the P-51 Mustang were superb planes in the air. This plane was a great dogfighter. The gull wing on the plane is because of the keeping the landing gear short, making a stronger landing gear to land on a carrier, and the diameter of the propeller was too wide. They needed to do this type of design to accommodate the propeller. But in turn, it gave it a very stout kind of landing gear, making it a good carrier plane. We didn't use it at first on a carrier because we had issues with it, and the Hellcat was such a good plane. So the British were the ones that used this and, like, yeah, cleared it for carrier usage. But the ones we did, the Hellcat could be kind of redundant. This plane could carry rockets, it could carry bombs. If you notice, there's places for the rockets. I did not put them on because they wouldn't stay on. When I put them on, they were knocking the skin panels on the top of the plane off. So I just put them together, I put them in a thing, and said, oh well. Another thing, towards the bottom, when you lift the drop tanks up, you'll notice this piece here. Underneath here, if you take this piece off and the piece below it, you have the thing for the stand, okay? Not a bad thing. It takes the weight of these wings kind of off and makes them not very secure. This thing here secures the wings so that you can fold and unfold the wings and stuff and use it in a more detailed fashion. Because of that, I am not going to use the stuff, the missiles. I mean the stand, because it'll kind of get wobbly and it may fall apart. I don't know. I toyed with that, and they did come up. They give you these optional pieces if you buy it to make it flat like that. I chose to do that because you fold the wings on this, you could put it on a desk or somewhere, and it is a very, very nice build, a very sturdy build. I'm very impressed with it, and better to have it where I can get it when I need to look at it. If I want to show pictures or stuff of the United States Navy from World War II, you got it right here. This plane actually served for quite a long time, 1945 through 1955. Used as ground attack, and other countries used the plane because it had 650 caliber Browning machine guns and the ability to carry and shoot rockets. And in fact, I'll show you the rockets. I have them here. I moved them aside because I got very annoyed that they kept falling off. These cut types. I may try again. I don't know. I don't want to glue anything. I like things the way they are originally, just by putting them together and securing them, and I may leave it like that. But it is what it is, and that's how I'm going to build this. You have a lot of options with this plane. Like I said, you could have it on a stand, eliminating those pieces that give strength to the rest of the wingspan and parts of the plane. And I chose not to. I suppose I should fold the wings up on it. The thing is, this thing that holds the landing gear and stuff in place, if it falls off, it makes it kind of unstable. So I don't know, I'm not going to fold the wings. I'm very impressed with this, and I think it's one of the best Cobi builds that I've had. I initially had a problem because the oil coolers in the wings, I had them all for like that side. It wasn't the kind that you'd need to fit on this side, so they had to send me the part. But other than that, wow. Oh, another thing too. I noticed other people that build these have problems with the pilot fitting in the canopy. The Cobi figures, when you put their boots or shoes on, they got to lock in place. You've got to make sure they lock and you hear it click. The tolerances are so tight on the inside of the cockpit and stuff that little bit extra will make the pilot sit up more and push on the canopy off. So when you build them, click them in, and no problems. And that's because of the tolerances being tight, which is a good thing, which shows these are very well thought out and crafted aircraft. But like I said, the Navy used these. They were far superior to anything the Japanese or the Germans had. And after World War II, the Korean War started, and you needed a close support plane, and Corsair fit that role. Air-cooled radial engine could take a lot of damage, and you're not going to hit a radiator or a coolant line from a radiator to an engine because you're using air cooling. It was supercharged with an intercooler. The intercooler part is like underneath there. No turbocharger, just a two-stage mechanical supercharger that actuated as the plane climbed up. This one actually had a floor in it. I've got a 1/32, a 1/18 scale Corsair with a big figure. There's no floor. There's a piece of glass in the bottom. The earlier ones didn't really have a floor in them. It says the war went on and they continually improved this. They put floors in it and made it to be what it is. This would be like top end fighter plane at the end of the war for the United States, for the Navy, comparable with any land based planes, and it's a great plane. There's still a lot of them flying. The ceiling on this plane, I think 44,000 feet it could go up to. Climb rate was 3,800 feet per minute. Like I said, armed with 650 caliber machine guns, top speed of 454 miles an hour, and able to take damage. And adding fuel tanks to it, it had a very, very good range. They quoted what the range is on this thing here. 1,000 miles. I guess it'd be without these tanks. I know that these types of tanks were used throughout the Pacific War, or gave them the range to be fleet carrier defense fighters, is basically what they were. But then they could also do ground attack. The Marines used them for that. As far as that, I mean, the plane had a few quirks about it. You had to be an experienced pilot to fly it and be well trained, because initially there were a lot of pilots that died landing these, but as they got acclimated with them and they saw the strengths of the plane, it was one of the best. And I've never built Cobi's P-51 Mustang. I've seen it. This plane just blows it away in terms of detail and coolness, and that's why I've got a Navy Corsair instead. Like I said, this one is the one from that movie. This dedication. Let me see if I wrote that down. No, I didn't. I just wrote down him because I knew about that. He was on the USS Lady, light carrier, I believe, and that was where this squadron that he was in flew from. But like I said, go watch the movie. You'll get entertained and get more information on Ensign Johnson, and his plane and body are still in Korea. They've never recovered it. But heroic man, great pilot, and great plane. As far as Cobi kits, these 1/32 scale ones, these new ones, are superb in terms of detail and durability. I will continue to buy them and put them together and hopefully explain them and show them for everybody on these videos. I'm going to have way more videos coming up now because I got a lot more time on my hands. So I have purchased and in the process of completing, I may complete it today, a Cobi F-16AM in Ukrainian Air Force markings with cruise missiles on it. It's an interesting build, and hopefully I get it done today, and I'll put a video up on it tomorrow. And I also have coming a Ukrainian Challenger 2 tank, kind of in the spirit with that plane that I built. Kind of neat stuff, good equipment, and that's going to the Ukrainian conflict now, why there's a stalemate, because the Ukrainians have decent NATO Western aircraft tanks, and they're holding the Russians at bay. And the Russians have resorted to using tanks that are older than me. Scary. Not to get off the subject of this, though, if you have any comments or something, let me know, as I'm trying to keep the qualities of these videos going up more, and hopefully can explain more. But yeah, check it out. This thing was a good build, $60. This is way cheaper than a Brickmania one, which could cost you maybe $600. And these actually look better in terms of detail. You can take the pilot's figures out. You can with theirs too, but I'm kind of biased to these. Anyway, that's all for this video. And if I can complete the other plane in time today, I will post a video with that. Thank you for watching. Sorry about the sun coming in through the side. Hope to see everybody soon again. Bye.